have similar political ideas.
With the purpose of contesting election and governing a state.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Just like Paul Apostle advised Timothy, I want you people to study and be satisfied. Wherever you find yourself, you can talk like an author. All right? Okay. I'm going to start the class now. It is already 3:01. Please, I have muted all of you. When I need you to talk, I will unmute you. And if you have anything to say, you raise your hand. The sense of it is to ensure that the class go on smoothly. Okay? So, while we are waiting order, just as I've said, I'm going to comment the class right away, and I'm going to send my screen now. I'm going to project. Okay, just as I was trying to review some things with some of you the other time about what we did in our last class, we studied political party, and from the topic, we learned about definition of political parties. Then we look at the 6 types of political parties and the functions of political parties. Okay, these were what we actually addressed in the last class, and I give you instances of a political party in Nigeria, just as we have seen on the screen now. Then outside this, you will agree with me that this is the definition of political party that Jessica was trying to give us, and these are the types of political party. Okay, we have a caucus party, mass party, local party, and we have the religious party, we have the charismatic party, and we have ideological party. And under the functions of political party, as you can see, I'm not going to that. I'm just trying to run down what we did in the last term. You can see the functions of political party, which we addressed the other day. Today, we are going to look at a topic, and the topic title press. Okay, today's topic is called the press. The press, that is today's topic, and we're going to learn under this topic, under the objectives or learning objective, we're going to learn the definition of the press. Okay, and after that, we're going to look at the roles the press play in a democratic system or democratic states. Okay, then we're going to explain the term freedom of the press. When we say freedom of the press, what does it mean? And lastly, we are going to highlight 5 ways of ensuring freedom of the press. These are what we're going to do in the few minutes ahead of us. Now, before I forge ahead, I'm going to interact with some of you. When we say press, what comes to your mind? When we say the press, what comes to your mind? Let me see what I'm going to call here. Melody is staying safe. Melody, when we say the press, what comes to your mind?
People that people that take care of news, that spread news to the nation.
People that spread news to the
nation.
Okay. You have idea. Thank you. Let me listen to Boluwatefe Araoye. Where is Araoye? You run away? Yes, Araoye, you have the floor.
Yes, sir.
When we say the press, what comes to your mind?
The press can be defined
as a general term used for the medium of collecting items of new and making such available for the public.
Okay. Thank you very much, Araoye. Thank you very much. I think from that, I will start my class. Okay. You can see from your screen at home, you will see different images. Let me take also response from some people to confirm if actually they are with me. Omotosho, what first image, the first image you will see on your screen? What is the name?
Huh?
The name or the first image?
News, I guess.
Eh?
Vanguard.
You said what?
Vanguard.
Do you see something like the sun, Daily Sun here?
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm asking you. Daily Sun is what? Is it an organization or what? What do you call it?
It's a news program.
A news program. It's not a news program. It's a newspaper. Okay. It's a newspaper. Oh, let me see. Where is Babatunde? Babatunde?
Sir.
All these images you are looking at now on this PowerPoint, can you tell us what it helped you to dissect or to understand?
Sir, I didn't hear you.
Please listen. There's no time for us to waste here. I said the images you are seeing on the screen, we have on the screen Daily Sun, The Punch, Daily Trust, Vanguard, we have AIT, we have CNN, we have Al Jazeera, we have Channel, okay? Then we have Wazobia FM, we have Redeem FM. What are exactly things you can deduct from what you are saying?
Yes.
Say what?
Daily Sun, The Punch, Daily Trust, and Vanguard, they are newspapers.
Please. What are those things? What can you deduct from them?
The media.
The media. God bless you. I love that. The media. That is, the mediums of individuals stand for a medium of disseminating news. And just like Araoye told us that when we say the press, it's a general term used. Taylor, I cited you, okay? I cited you. I'm sorry. Don't worry. It will be time for all of you to respond to one or two things or the other. I said, just as Araoye said, the medium of collecting and disseminating information to the public is what we term the press. Okay? I don't know, maybe it should be your, what class is it? There's a topic called mass media. Mass media, okay? Don't forget, for those of you that are friendly with your English language, media is the plural of what?
Medium.
Medium, thank you very much, okay? And when we say mass media, it implies the process of disseminating information, the channels of getting information across to people in different locations at the same time. As in your house there, if you want to get information, or if you are listening to TVC in your house, and I also switch on TVC here in my house, the same thing we will get from TVC. If you switch on to channel, the same thing you will listen to, the same thing I will listen to here. As I'm here now, before you come online, I'll be trying to look at my Punch app, trying to know what happened in Nigeria today, as in the Federal National Assembly. If you check now, you see my phone. You will see my Punch app, right? Can you see? Okay, some of you cannot see because I'm projecting. All right. Now, what I'm saying in a sense is that the news I am getting Please, that person that is writing that rubbish, be careful. Hmm? The news I got from Punch now, somebody stay in Uganda. If you log onto the same application, we get the same news. And that is why we say mass media is the process of getting information to the public in different locations at the same time. Now, we are looking at a term that actually cover the core mass media this time around. And that term that we're looking at is press. When you hear press, just as Araye said, told us, it implies a medium of getting information. It's a general time used to get information. When you get information, what do you do with it? You don't keep it. But you synthesize the information. Then information will get across to the public, either through printing media or electronic media. I want to take a question now. When we say printing media, what are the examples of printing media? Let me see what I'm going to ask. Aisha Balogun. I can see some hands up. Don't worry.
Like newspapers and all like stuff like that, Sha.
Just like I've told you, don't stop talking like I do when I ask you a question. Just something like that, Sha. Eh? Newspaper. Municipal is one. What are other examples of mass media? Let me listen to Omotosho. Omotosho.
I don't know, sir.
And you raise your hands. You don't know. Okay, let me listen to Jessica. Raise her hand. Yes?
Example of printing media, sir.
Yes.
Okay, magazine.
Magazine, thank you very much. Just stop like that. Let me listen to Timilein. Mosi, you are started.
Sir, I wanted to say billboard.
You said what?
I wanted to say billboard.
Billboard.
It's not correct. It's electronic.
Thank you. Because in most cases, when you have a billboard and information is printed on the billboard, everybody passing will surely get the information.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Again? Okay. Now I'm going to, when you say electronic media, what comes to your mind when you say electronic media? Example of electronic media. Let me hear from Isaac. Isaac, you have the floor. Okay. Ogbedi Allen. What is wrong with you? I muted you. You mute yourself. If you mute yourself, you can't unmute. You can't.
Radio is an example of electronic media.
Thank you. Radio. Okay, thank you. Joshua, tell me an example of electronic media.
The press.
Is Joshua with me here?
Yes, sir.
Please be audible.
The press, sir.
Can't hear you. Salami.
So,
Tell me an example of electronic media.
TV, sir.
Now your music you are playing there,
Yes.
better switch it off now.
So is my brother watching cartoon.
I leave that place. Olajumoke, tell me an example of electronic media.
Sir, television, like
Television, thank you. Television. Thank you. We also have even the internet, the website of all these newspapers that you have seen previously. They serve as an example of electronic media. Okay, please take notes. They serve as an example of electronic media. If you log into the website of Punch now, you get news there. Somebody that logged into the website somewhere, whether in Abuja or in Kano, will get the same items of news. Now, what do you think will be the state of the nation if we don't have means of collecting news displayed by professionals and get the information across to order? Let me hear from Timidire. What do you think will happen if we don't have the press through which items of news are collected and gets to the member of the public? What do you think will happen to the society?
People will not know what is happening in that society.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Emidiri. Now, you are in Lagos. Like, as a matter of fact, what happened in Abuja today now, I know already. Understand? But if we don't have the press that help us to get the information and disseminate it, people will live in perpetual darkness. And that will take us to another arena, how important the press is in a democratic state. Then when we say press, then those people that gather the news, okay, what do we call them? Dominion, Emmanuel. Those that gather the news, what do we call them? Please. Yes, Dominion, I'm with you. You mute yourself, right? Oh, Dominion, you don't want to answer my question, right?
The journalists.
Journalists. Please speak up. Journalists, okay? Those people that gather the news and get it across together, they are called journalists or press crew. Okay. Journalists or press crew. Now, I want to ask another question. What is the name of association? The name of association given as a name of association where all individuals that work as press crew, what's the name of association that they belong to? Let me hear from Kosi this time around. It is when it's time for me.
Ban.
Yes, Kosi, I'm with you.
Okay. NUJ, Nigerian Union of Journalists. NUJ, which is Nigerian Union of Journalists.
Nigerian Union of Journalists. Thank you very much. NUJ, Nigerian Union of Journalists. Please, let me ask you an objective question that which of this group that the press crew belong to? It is NUJ, Nigerian Union of Journalists. And don't forget that NUJ is an example of who is talking? NUJ is an example of what we call press. Okay, so generally now we have seen that the press is a general term used for the collection of news items and such made available for the people irrespective of their locations, in as much they can get connected to the channels through which the such news will be spread. It could be by electronic, it could be by printing means. Is anybody that had issue as regard the meaning of press now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I'm listening to you. If you tell me your problem with the meaning of the press, you have issue with it? Zola Jimoke say yes or who? Ola Jimoke? Okay.
Sir, I was not hearing.
It's your network. It's your network. I said, do you understand everything about the meaning of the press now?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Let's move ahead. Now, the next one we're going to look at now, the role of the press in democratic state. As a matter of fact, from the definition from what I have given, I'm going to take that from you. Some people are raising hand. I want to take that role from you. I will not display it from this area. Let me hear from you. Let me hear from Brian. She's just coming. Brian, tell me one of the role of the press in a democratic state.
Okay, sir. The press is needed for continued process of education and enlightenment of the citizens.
Okay, you don't know that the press is needed. So the press educates the masses, okay, either on their political or their fundamental human rights. Okay, is that understood?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me listen to Omoniyi. I can see many hands upstairs. That means my students are very serious. Hey, Jessica hands is up. Where's Omoniyi? Where's Omoniyi? You see, I will have allowed you now so that when you unmute yourself, you can talk. But some of you don't know how to manage yourself at the end there. That is why I put the central padlock. Okay, let me listen to Jessica.
It ensures transparency in government.
Thank you. Can you explain that for us?
It makes people to be open to the government.
Okay, your network is a bit cracking. Let me tell you what it means. That when you say it ensures transparency in government, don't forget that the press will get information, and the press will now disseminate the information for public consumption, right? If you know that somebody is going to get news about you and publish it, will you do what is bad? You will not do it. So everything you are doing, you will do in such a way that it will be something that when people hear about it and people see it, they will know that, oh, that person is a great person. So the fact that the press ensure that they gather information about governance in a state and make such information available to the public in such a way that the public will use the information they have gathered to appraise the government, either for good or for bad, it made the government to be more transparent. Is that understood? Okay, some hands are up. Those that have spoken, they will not talk for now. Those that have not spoken at all, okay, let me listen to Omoniyi. Omoniyi, you have the floor.
Enlightening the public about government policies.
Thank you. Can you explain that?
And whatever is going on around the government, you get to know more about it.
Okay. The press help us to know the activities of government. That is, for instance, now I just read something in the Punch now that the National Assembly has passed the something medical bill, whatever. This NCDC had to detain some people for a while because of this pandemic. As the bill has passed a first reading in the National Assembly. I was not in Abuja, but now I already know what happened in Abuja today in the Senate. Okay, and I also got more information now that Borno State, Lagos State, and Kano State, they are the one topping the list of coronavirus pandemic in Nigeria, and the death has increased to 93 now. The death casualty. So I wouldn't have known this if not because of the activities of the press. So press help us to be acquainted with the activities of government. If government is being run well or the government is not run well, we get to know through the press. Thank you very much, Omoniyi. Yes, let me listen to, no, Timmy has talked, Timmy has said something. Let me listen to that, I have not said anything. Taylor, Michael Taylor, tell me one role of the press. Taylor, are you with me?
Sir, yes.
Yes.
So the press archives information. How would I say it? They document each recent happenings for future use.
Thank you very much.
So that,
okay, thank you very much. As a matter of fact, if you want to know what happened in 1984, 1985, during Muhammad Buhari regime, you will get to know about it when you approach any of the archive where the newspapers are kept. That is where you see some people who attack Buhari that Buhari has not changed. Buhari of 1985, 84, you see the same Buhari now. So it is because of the press you get to know more about this. Thank you. All of you have spoken very well. These are some of the roles of the press in a democratic state, which some of you have mentioned. I believe you can see from my PowerPoint. Now, the number 4, they say it serves as the medium of conveying the people's desire to the government. I want somebody to explain that for me. Who will explain that for me? Let me listen to Divine Awulo. Yes, Divine Awulo. You have the floor.
Yes, the press, like the desire of the people are like the press are like part of the people, you know. So what
Said it
people
serves as medium of conveying the people's desire to the government. In a simple sentence, what does it mean?
the things that the people need will be expressed by the press, and when people in government of
All
like
right, thank
government
you very much.
officials.
Divine, have you ever seen a time that when you are watching the documentary at home, for those of you that are writing that rubbish, be careful, I'm seeing you here. If I pick you up like this, I'll bond you out of my class. You have to be disciplined, okay? If you have listened, for most cases, when you listen to TVC, they will go to some nooks and crannies of particular area and cover the bad road there. And when they cover the bad road, such will be what? Will be published that, oh, this area, they need road. The government wouldn't have known that those areas actually in need of what? Good road, if not because of activities of the press. In most cases, some, they will tell that in the past, if you have been listening to radio, some will call at times, they will say, there's this program, whenever you listen to news on this radio FM 94.1 every morning, people will call at times that they will ask them to say what they need in the area. Some will say for the past 4 years, they don't have power supply in their area. How will the government know that they don't have power supply in their area if not because of the activities of the press through the radio station? So I know the governors or the government or the commissioner or whoever that's related to the government or whatever, we hear about it, and so should be translated or related to the government. So the press help to convey the desire, the need, what people want in their area to the government. So Isa, how do you think the press protect fundamental human rights? So Isa, I'm with you. You run away, right? Mosi. Yes, how do you think the press ensure the protection of human rights?
It aids free speech.
Free speech.
Sir, yes.
Come on, is that how to talk? The press help to protect human rights in the sense that whenever an ugly event happens in a particular area, the press make it known to the public. In most cases, if I have done something wrong to you now, Mosi, and you don't have the power to challenge me, if the press should cover it and make it the public attention, don't be surprised that somebody can come from somewhere to come and protect your rights. And when that happened, next time I will not do something of that ugly situation, because I will be aware that anybody the press can cover the event. If at all the person in question could not protect himself, somebody else can protect him if it becomes a public knowledge. So the fact that the press help to public either good or bad news, where people's rights have been violated, in most cases you listen in the radio. 2 days ago or 2 weeks ago, I heard in the press that a woman was as in some police officer around this Ikorodu area. They collected the woman's money during this lockdown. They just tricked the woman to go and withdraw money through POS in one place, and after the woman withdrew the money, and the money was collected by the same police officer, could it be that it will become a public knowledge because some people cover it and it was thrown into the internet? And as I'm talking to you now, the police officer had been is in detention. So do you think that other police officers that have that kind of documentation will do it again? No, because they are aware that this can be a public knowledge, and they will be very conscious. In that way, it helps to mitigate any form of human rights violation, which leads to protection of human rights. It facilitates the operation of the rule of law. As a matter of fact, where there's the press in a state working effectively, the supremacy of the law will be ensured. Okay, fundamental human rights will be ensured. There will be what? Impartiality and equality will be ensured. I think I've taught the rule of law, so I don't need to dwell more about that. Yeah, the next item here is freedom of the press. I'm working with my time here. I have 10 minutes left. Freedom of the press. When we say freedom of the press, what comes to your mind before let me listen to Aisha Balogun. When we say freedom of the press, what comes to your mind? Aisha, you know me very well. Okay, no problem. Let me see those that are ready to answer my question. We'll see. Are you raising your hand? Are you raising your hand?
No, sir, it was before.
Okay, you lower it. Okay, thank you. Taylor, okay, Taylor is not raising his hand. Jessica, are you raising your hand? Okay. Tell me, when we say freedom of the press, what does it mean?
It's the freedom of communication and expression through various medium.
Okay, network is sound breaking. I know you actually get the point. Okay, let me listen to Temi. Temi, when you say freedom of the press, she did her eye. Eh? Temi. Okay. We'll say freedom of the press, just as Jessica trying to open for us. It is the liberty. The liberty of the press to have access to information and make such available for the member of the public. I said the liberty, the freedom, the opportunity, the independence the press have in such a way that they walk onto a particular office, they say, no, we want to know what is the total income of NNPC last year. Yes, the press has the power to ask for that. And that will be in our next topic under the FOIA, that is Freedom of Information Act. We talked about that. So when the press has the opportunity or the ability or the liberty to seek information and in such a way that just information will be made available and the press will be able to publish the news without any form of coercion or threats by the government, then we talk about freedom of the press. Okay? What I have said is what I have on the screen here. But can we say there's freedom of the press in Nigeria? Hey, yes, I can see from Jessica said no. That's just the truth. To a reasonable extent. To a reasonable extent, freedom of the press has limitation in this country. From what I have here, if you see what I have on the screen here, something happened in 2017 in Aso Rock when Buhari was sick and he went to London for months without transmitting power to his deputy and without knowing what actually wrong with him. And if you check, I think section 178 of 1999 Constitution, the president of the country is occupying a public office and his whereabouts should be known. Our president left the country for months, we don't know his whereabouts. And for one reporter or Punch, Olalekan Adetayo, reporting that this is situation in the Aso Rock, like this, and he was prevented from entering the Aso Rock. Okay? The press has the freedom. The office of the president is not a private office, it's a public office. As such, that is a public office, everything that happened in the office should be made known to the public. So, to a reasonable extent, there's no freedom of the press in Nigeria. When you get a concrete information about the government and you publish it, it becomes a hunt for the GSS, because that is the dog of the federal government now. GSS, Department of State Service, that is the dog of federal government. Once you publish or make known to the public the particular news, you will be haunted. There was this man in Akwa Ibom or or river, Cross River, Agbajalingo, was a pressman for reviewing certain activities of the government in that state. He was arrested by DSS for months. So, may God help us. Any states where there's no freedom of the press, and the state says it's practicing democracy, that is not democracy, that is democracy. But let me also tell you that for the fact that you have the freedom of the press does not give room for you to publish any news that will harm the country. Take note of that. If you have any news, and there's any hidden news that needs to have to do with the security of the state, that when it may become a public knowledge, the country will be what? Engulfed by fire. You are not supposed to make such news known to the public. If you do that, you may be what? Arrested. So, just as I've told you before, there's no freedom. I've told you before now, there's no freedom without limitation. Only animal in the bush. You remember when I taught you liberty? Only animal in the bush that has freedom without limitation. For the fact we have freedom of the press, there are certain limitations. But as a matter of fact, in this country and some part of the Africa, freedom of the press has been what? Limited one way or the other because of the fact that our leaders engage any form of democratic principle. They don't want criticism, which is one of the features of a democratic system. So that is all about freedom of the press. Now, we look at how can we ensure freedom of the press in a state? These are what you know. How can we ensure freedom of the press in a state? Yeah, let me hear from some people. You can see image. That image should tell you something. The image you are looking at should tell you something. Immediately, if you don't respond to my question now, I will come after you there now, right now. Yeah, tell me.
So what's the question?
Can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes, sir.
What is on this? What is the title?
Ways of ensuring freedom of the press.
Now tell me one way of ensuring freedom of the press. Can you see I have some hands up now? Four hands up.
By allowing people to vote. By allowing people to vote.
In what system can you vote? Democracy. By ensuring through democratic practices. When you ensure through democratic practices, you will notice that there will be what? Freedom of the press. Because one of the characteristics of a democratic state is what? Freedom of the press. I taught you democracy last time. One of the characteristics of a democratic system is what? Freedom of the press. In a state that practice through democracy or observe through democratic principle, there will be what? Freedom of the press. Let me listen to Soiza this time around. You want to talk now? Soiza, tell me other means of ensuring freedom of the press.
Freedom of information.
The network is a bit poor. I can't hear you audibly. I can't hear you very well. Okay. Who is raising hand there again?
Freedom.
Omotosho, are you raising your hand? Some of the hand I'm looking at there, they are lower hand, though, not raising hand, though. Okay. Some of you are behaving like baby. Continue to rather your rubbish. You know, I know how to punish you very well. I can punish you from this place. Salami David. Which other means do you think we can ensure freedom of the press?
Human rights, sir. Human rights.
Human rights. Human rights in what sense?
So, like,
you are wasting my time. This class is supposed to be over by now. Human rights, it means that what? How? One way you can ensure freedom of the press, freedom of information. In a state where there is freedom for the media to get information and make source available for the citizen, then there will be freedom of the what? Of the press. I told you the other time that you are going to be taught freedom of the information arts. That will be our next class. Then, independent of judiciary. In a state where the judicial officers have the freedom to dispense justice without any form of intimidation or influence from other arms of government, there will be freedom of the press. How? If I have published a news and you maltreated me, I will go to court. Forget about the office you are occupying. Once I get to court, I will get justice. And once I get justice, that will prevent anybody that have the similar mind to carry out such dastard act to not to do such the next time. Okay? That is how they will say protection of human rights. In a state where human rights are well protected, in a state where human rights are well protected, don't forget that one of the human rights is what? Freedom of expression. So when these are observed in a state, freedom of the press will be ensured. Then last but not the least is the rule of law. As you can see from the image, when everybody is equal before the law and all principles, all features of rule of law are observed, there will be freedom of the press. So far, so good. We have looked at the meaning of the press, the role of press in a democratic state, as well as the concept of freedom of the press and way of ensuring freedom of the press in a state. Please let me entertain your question in 2 minutes ahead. If you have question, it's time for me to entertain your question now. If you have question, raise your hand. I will unmute you. You will talk. Okay. You have the floor, Motosho. Your question, briefly.
I said that Buhari traveled for a few months.
I can't hear you. You want to talk? You want to ask question? Be audible, please.
Just you said that Buhari went into London for a few months. They were not yet for him.
I can't hear what you are saying.
You said Buhari went out for a few months. Went out without expressing what he went, where he went, or where he went to.
You are interested in that. If you are interested in that, please go and check about the Buhari sickness 2017 when he went to London for a medical trip. Okay, I just give that as a scenario here. I'm asking questions on the. I'm not here to come and tell you story because there's no time for that. I've given you. You see it in my PowerPoint. You can search for it on your own. You get detail about the whole matter. I cannot tell you that kind of story here. That will not permit me for such. Next question.
Oh, class has ended. Sir.
Yes. Yes. Who is saying, sir? Some of you, I'm not seeing your face. So if I don't see your face, you even wave when you don't know how to raise your hand. I won't know if you have question. Isaac, are you sure you are with me here? I asked you a question on several occasions, you did not respond. Okay. Brian, any problem?
I can't hear.
I said, Brian, any problem?
Yes, sir.
What is the problem?
What's me of the press? I wasn't around for the first 10 minutes.
Okay. I will share the video with you later. I don't think I can't go back to that because of my time here. So you know what the press is. And you have my notes already, don't you?
Yes, sir.
So I will share the video clip with you later, okay? So I can't go back to that now because my time here. All right. Prepare for my next class. My next class will be on Freedom of Information Act. Allen, you lower your hand or you have a question? Some of you don't. You say what?
So my question is, doesn't freedom of the press ever lead to the violation of the rights of the law enforcement of the government officials?
You mean that the freedom of press, does it violate the right of the law enforcement agent?
Or like the government official, like the president, they're talking about him. Does it ever lead to the violation of his own rights?
Yeah. The thing is that if the rights, as in the news in question, there's what we call libel and slander, okay? If the information published is not in line with defaming the character of the person in question, okay? There's nothing violation there. But if it is to make the activities of the government know, there's no problem. But if it has to do with something libelous information to defame the person, then that could lead to a violation of a person in the capacity of public office. Okay, even without being a public office, you cannot carry any false information about me. If you do that, I will sue you under the law of labor or slander. Okay.
So the president can sue them.
If the information carried or published is contrary, maybe it's a kind of attack to the personality of the person in question, okay, or the information published, it has to be a threat to the integrity of the country, okay? In that way, the press crew or the press in question can be arrested, and the president can just only take them to court, not to detain such a person, like what we witnessed in the case of Agbajalingo. You can read about it after this class. Just type on your Google, Agbajalingo has been in detention since last year just because he criticized the government. If I thought he had done something wrong, he's expected to be taken to court, not to be detained by the DSS. That is a violation of consumer rights. That does not have nothing to do with democratic principle.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I don't know if I have answered your question.
Yeah, but like, what if it's a rumor? Like, it's a rumor about the president. It's not true.
You can't carry a rumor. Even the press, they have their code of conduct, okay? You can't use a rumor now and publish it. It is not allowed, okay? It's not allowed. All right. So if you use the rumor as an item of news, you will be arrested once there's no confirmation for that. Oh, is there another person here with question? Michael Taylor, do you have a question? Okay. In absence of other question, we'll call the class today. Meet you by God's grace on Friday. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye to all of you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.